Well, I'm Paul Heiser. I'm married to lovely Adrian Heiser. We've been just celebrated our 65th wedding anniversary. I joined the Army from Petersburg, Michigan, which was a town of 750 people, and I went down to Palacios, Texas. So we spent 3 months with this Coast Guard anti-aircraft artillery, and an officer came through and asked if anybody would like to join the ASTP. And everybody's hand went up. So you had to take a test. We went to a couple colleges and that qualified, went to this. So 3 semesters of engineering at Stillwater, Oklahoma. And then along came D-Day. They were planning D-Day. They said, in May, we will lead replacements for D-Day. So they closed the ASTP program. All the teachers had to go back to find something else to do. Put us in the infantry. So I was in the infantry from June till October when we went overseas, with no training whatsoever, no combat training. I never had basic training. And the last month they decided I had never fired an M1 or a carbine or a pistol, but I was an expert on the machine gun. So we spent 2-3 weeks trying to get me to hit the target with the rifle. Very bad. Then we went over to Europe, and we landed in Marseille, France, I think October 20th, after a hurricane on the tour over, where nobody got any food, and we were in bunks. They shared no comfort. We couldn't turn over. If you wanted to turn over, you had to get out of the cot to get back in. It was a little crowded. But nobody cared. They couldn't walk or talk or nothing. They were just dying from life. It was seasickness. And so we got to Marseille, did port duties for about 3 weeks. They moved us up to Saint-Dié, which was about 100 miles away. So we arrived there. Next day they said, gee, we're going up and we're going to commit to let you play with the Germans. So our commanding officer said, gee, we're going to hold your group in reserve. So we won't go up. So we came back, had mail call, and my mother had sent over a cake packed in puffed wheat. And so we sat on my 21st birthday eating angel food cake with the artillery from the Americans going over our head one way and the artillery from the Germans going over our head the other way. And this is the start of combat. You get to be a believer real quick. It took us about 2 weeks. We got down to Innsbruck, Austria, and we're coming into this town. And they said, well, we'll attack the town tomorrow. So, okay. So we had this broad-shouldered guy, who was about 10 below. We had this broad-shouldered guy with me. Said, look, it's 10 below. Let's sleep together. So we dug a foxhole just big enough for the 2 of us, and we jumped in there on our side with a raincoat underneath and a raincoat on top. And we had 6 inches of snow on top of us in the morning when we woke up. And they had brought up the tanks during the night. They were sitting on a ridge. There were about 6 tanks on this ridge, and it was about 5,000 foot drop down into the bottom of the valley. And here these German people didn't know we were there. And they're just driving around in their little valley with their armored equipment and tanks. Our tanks opened up and they just pick them off, one shot per tank, just like that. And so they said, okay, we'll go down. And the mayor of Innsbruck came out with his flag. Said, nobody shoots in my town. And this Innsbruck is about as big as Baltimore. It's a big town. And they ski there and do all this good stuff. So we went skiing in Innsbruck. We were there for about 3 weeks and they said, gee, Paul, we need you in Japan. So we're taking you out of this group because you didn't have enough points. We lived on points. You didn't have enough points even though I got the Purple Heart. It didn't give me enough points. They said, we're going to send you to Japan. So we went home. End of story. Well, this is a series of medals that I have. This is a picture of me, the fighting man. More of a lover, I thought. And this is a picture that we took. We had some artifacts left over from the war, and some coins and German flag, and we gave those to our company day reunion group. And we had this reunion of our company, which was 150 people at the start. That's all there was in it. And had about 20% of them that didn't get killed. And so we've been meeting for 60 years, I think. We've been just within the past 10 or so. And finally, 2 years ago, I was the only one walking. So we decided that was enough reunion. Yeah. I didn't have to drive to Battle Creek to be in a reunion with me. Okay.
And what are all the, will you tell us what those medals are? Or tell us about one of them at least?
Well, this one here is, it's a European theater ribbon with 3 clusters on it, which said I was in 3 major battles on the continent. We did the Battle of the Bulge and the Alsace and so on. And this is the Purple Heart. I only got one of those. And they didn't take away my Good Conduct Medal. I think that's it. But this is the Combat Infantryman's Badge, which you got when you were in contact with the enemy for 100 days. And Bronze Star.